What's up guys, Mr. Millennial Falcon here, and I'm coming to you with a game review this time, trying to diversify it up. I'm going to be talking about Remnant from the Ashes. It's a game that I recently came across just because I saw the Microsoft reveal trailer for this year. I can't remember what event that was. I don't remember. Anyway, Microsoft showed off some games, and it was some sort of event. Remnant actually showed off some DLC. It's called Subject 2923. Thought it looked really cool in the trailer, and I was like, I've never heard of this game. But I decided to look into it, and I saw some gameplay of it. I'm like, wow, this is interesting. It's like Dark Souls with guns.
Yeah, I knew that was
Crazy
coming.
Chris says 3, Dave says 4. Let's prove him wrong.
Let me shoot you first to make it
Don't shoot.
even for
Stop
the
it.
boss. I know.
All right, here we go, boys and girls.
I swear,
Let's go,
this is
Falcon
another one of
fam.
those.
Oh,
This
boy.
can't be good.
This is not
Uh,
good.
I got this. You stay back. Look at his penis.
Dun, dun, dun,
Cannot be
dun.
unseen.
Dun,
Oh
dun,
God!
Dun, dun,
Okay.
dun. Bum, bum, bada, bum, 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 bada, bum, 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 bada, bum, 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 bada, bum.
Hey, look, it's Groot.
It is Groot. Oh boy, dude, we're so dead. I picked it up after watching a couple of videos and checking it out for myself, and I said, you know what? I need to let more people know about this. Some background on the game. Remnant from the Ashes is it's an action role-playing game, action role-playing third-person shooter developed by Gunfire Games and published by Perfect World. It was released for Microsoft, Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One on August 19th, August 20th, 2019. It's a co-op shooter. I mean, you can play by yourself, and it's pretty tough on your own, but it's a lot more fun with other players. Now I'm gonna keep referring to it kind of like Dark Souls because it shares a lot of similarities. So if you like the Souls-like series, you'll probably like this. The way this review is going to work, and I'm going to try to tailor all of my future reviews: background, and then we're going to do audio, gameplay, visuals, story, and then I'm going to give you just my overall thoughts on fun and just a summary, and give you a score rating essentially. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start with visuals. To me, visuals are probably obviously the first thing you notice in a game. As far as visuals in this game, I feel like the guns, the armor, the atmosphere, the level design, everything is so atmospheric, and it ties in so well with the game. You have guns that shoot plasma rays. You have guns that shoot ricochet saw blades.
Fine, let's have a look.
Ooh, what the heck is this thing?
Oh, I didn't mean to look at that.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna craft that.
We're done here?
Total Award 17.
No, it's like a rifle.
Oh, okay.
It does look cool. I'm curious what that ability does. Regular bullets and all sorts of different things. The gun design itself all ties in with the plot of the game, with the root taking over the world and that sort of thing. It really feels like it matches. Same goes for the armor.
What?
Look at my armor.
Okay.
That's expensive.
I wasn't.
I'm
Which was
expensive.
So long.
A lot of the armor, it feels there's stuff that looks very modern, there's stuff that looks very cryptic, there's stuff that's like out of this world, and there's your basic generic scrap armor and stuff like that as well. And that's the other thing about the game too, is that guns and armor and level design are all unique. You'll never find two guns that are alike. I mean, there's only a limited number of guns in the game. You find, you know, the revolver, and that revolver that's it. It's a revolver. It's the only revolver in the game that you're gonna get, and you can level it up. As far as level art design, the level art is beautiful. It's unique. It's atmospheric. You'll get into the swampy area, and you feel like you're in a swamp going through the city, and you can distinguish each of the levels, and they're, I would say, memorable in the sense you know the themes. As far as memorable, they're really not that memorable. You run into areas where you're just going to be running around, and you'll see the same two trees, you know, for the next 10 minutes of playing. So the game is procedurally generated, and so it's not really meant to be sort of unique in that way. It's unique in the level design, and the rooms you come across sometimes will be different, but for the most part you'll be running across most of the similar territory. So when you're going through the swamp area, it's going to be a lot of the same swamp area. As far as enemy art design and visuals, enemies are amazing. You've got some super creepy guys. You've got guys that are more normal like, or just interesting in some ways. You got rat people. You have all sorts of different creatures, all tied around this idea of the root that takes over the world. Enemy design is extremely unique, extremely terrifying at times. I mean, like, check out this guy. So I got the. Did you grab that? Oh, what the heck? Is there more of them? Oh, it's a big monster thing.
The tubby.
Oh, there's people behind us.
I don't know where they came from.
And not to mention their animations. All of the enemies have very unique animations in the way they move, the way their features move. You've got like these things that are like shriekers. I don't know what else to call them. They're like praying mantis shrieker type creatures that stun you with their screams. Happened between last game and now, but like I'm just melting these guys. There's a screamer here too. Back up. Back it up. Oh. Wow, they're really loud.
They're behind us, I think.
Yep. Now, as far as audio. When it comes to audio, I think it's probably one of the most important things in video games. It's one of the most important things when it comes to streaming. Audio is so key in a lot of different things. When it comes to audio in this game, it is phenomenal. I'm talking about like audio cues, the music, just the atmosphere, the sound effects of everything. Enemies make different sounds depending on what it is they're doing. If you have a enemy mini boss spawn, you'll know it's coming. The sounds that some of these enemies make are extremely terrifying. Oh my goodness. Ah, I got a giant knight coming at me. Oh, he's coming for you actually, sorry.
No, he's coming for me.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, he threw his hammer! He throws his hammer!
Yeah, he throws his hammer.
Don't let him trick you! He was one-shotting me.
Oh, what? It is amazing what they've done with the audio in this game. I could probably beat an entire boss without ever looking at what the boss was doing and just listen to it based off audio cues. Dodge when I needed to, attack when I needed to. Now I'm going to go into story. As far as story, it wasn't there. You don't play this game because of the story. You play it because it's a fun game to play. Honestly, I can't really tell you much, if anything, of the story because it wasn't there for me. Very slow paced. So the idea is that you're on Earth, and it's actually alluded to that you are on Earth, and the Earth has been taken over by these creatures, or this evil, corrupt thing called the root. Now the root itself is very mysterious and supposed to be some sort of like magic type of thing that's created in what's called the dreamer. It spreads around the world and whatnot, and then it's your job to figure out how to stop it. And that's basically the gist of it. There's not much else to it. I mean, I'm sure there's a whole lot of lore in the game. It's just really not that interesting. I was more entertained by the gameplay of the game, the mechanics, the visuals, the audio. Like that's what drew me in. Every time I got to a point where I had to deal with talking to somebody, I would just basically kind of skip through it and make fun of the fact that like some of the questions they would ask were just so menial.
Oh, holy hell. Clawbone's the source.
What?
Harsgard's dreamer was the gate. My life's work.
I know this makes sense.
Fair warning.
You're walking
You're walking a pretty dangerous road. But maybe, just maybe, you'll succeed where I failed. How
Man,
can I
his hair is tripping me out. Can you
Yeah.
Who's
can you take-
Hagrid?
I know how to get
Oh,
out.
never mind.
There's a mirror in Ward 13.
You found
Not
Stelly.
where-
It gives you options. And I never really thought there was a time where my options really mattered. I will say that there aren't a lot of cutscenes in the game, and when there are, they're usually pretty interactive because you start making decisions as far as like what you want to say. But like I said, the decisions don't really matter. All right, and lastly, we're gonna go into gameplay. So gameplay is by far where I think this game shines. Besides your visual, besides your audio, I think the gameplay mechanics are really what kept me going and wanting to see more. I'm talking about all the different guns and how they operate, the armor pieces, the effects that you can get from them, accessories you can put on and things like that. Just the way the mods worked as far as like your abilities and what you were able to do and what you unlocked from bad guys. I'm gonna change my mods too. Hang on. All right, we're gonna go with here. Wait, where's my flicker coat? I'm gonna change that out.
I have this one that reduces melee damage. Seems reasonable.
Okay, we're gonna put flicker coat on. You know what? I think I'm gonna get my submachine gun. At the same time, though, I also feel like this is where the game really struggled. There were things that I just didn't feel like were right. The thing that really bothered me was because it's procedurally generated, you get a lot of random rooms where you'll go exploring and there won't necessarily be anything at the end of it. So you'll go down and you'll see a really unique corridor, get to the end of it, there's a dead end and you're like, oh man, I'm about to find some really good loot. And then it's not there. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. As far as like level design sometimes, wasn't the best. There was one point where my buddy and I went through, we just killed a horde of enemies, and then we couldn't find the exit. But that's because there was no exit. The game just wanted you to go back out of the dungeon the way you came in.
Where's part?
Okay, so I think we gotta go upstairs. Let's see if we can figure out a way out of here.
Here's the checkpoint.
Yeah, that's the checkpoint that we came from.
Are we taking it?
Huh?
Are we taking it?
No. We're finding a way forward.
Okay, there was nothing right there.
Oh. I get, is this really, I mean, do we go back? Like, I don't understand.
Well, it seems like.
There's always a path forward, Stefan. It's one of those games where it doesn't really handhold you all too much, but the levels and the game design itself isn't very intuitive. This game really doesn't follow a lot of those conventional methods of leading you down certain paths or leading you to believe certain things. In order to summarize the general meta of the game, you go into a level, you kill enemies, you gather materials, and then you probably die, or you get to the next checkpoint and then return back to base to upgrade your weapon. Typically, you'll face harder enemies as you keep going through the levels. This will be in the form of mini bosses that you'll encounter randomly throughout your playthrough. Swarms of enemies sometimes. There were several times where I was playing and it just felt like the game wanted me dead. That's the general gist of it though. Very Dark Souls like. You're going through, you're gathering materials. When you die though, you actually don't drop any of your materials. So you maintain those materials and then you can immediately go back to camp and use those materials to craft better weapons upgrade your weapons, not necessarily craft. Upgrade your weapons, upgrade your skills. Touching back on visuals and just the procedurally generated mechanics, you won't always encounter the same enemies that your friends do, for example. No two playthroughs are ever alike, and you can go through different paths your buddy will never have gone through. You'll unlock armor, weapons that your friends will have never seen. It's really unique in that way. So I thought that was really interesting, and it's a very good replayable point. And lastly, for gameplay, I think I'm going to touch on combat. Most of the combat is range combat. You're going to be using guns. There's a plethora of weapons to use. That'll be your main tool, is your gun. You do get a little bit of melee combat. I will note though that is the other spot the game lacks in. You'll be swinging at an enemy and you're like right on them, and it just won't connect. Luckily, the dodge system is pretty decent when it works. There are times though that I felt like I had dodged and I had timed it perfectly, and somehow he still hit me. I'm dead. Overall, I thought the combat was really decent. The guns all feel good. It feels really satisfying to get those headshots. Some of the melee weapons feel really great. They've got some special abilities where you can charge up the weapon, smash the ground, and cause like an area of effect sort of thing. Do some stuff. Overall, honestly though, I feel like this game is a hidden gem. As far as rating, I'm gonna give this like an 8 out of 10. It was a pretty solid game for me. It does a lot of things right. It misses in some areas, but that's okay. All games are gonna miss somewhere. I feel like it takes and kind of twists the Souls series a little bit in a different way. It's a little more forgiving, I would say, than a Souls game is. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you are planning on picking this game up. Honestly, I've had a lot of fun with the game. I plan on continuing playing it. I've seen people do 100 boss runs. I think it's a great game. I think you should pick it up. And I think you should subscribe to my channel. Also, check me out on Twitch. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And I play a variety of games. I have a link down below for that and my Twitter. Thanks.